Okay, so one of our next steps is going to be to drill the hole for the T-nut to go in, so that our knob can go through on this side and we can have adjustability for this to move up and down. That hole is a 5/16 hole that's going to get drilled on this piece. Now that little piece is not very large in size, and so to cut that piece, to drill that piece and hold it in place on the drill press would require to hold your hand right next to that spinning bit. So what we're going to do in terms of the process is, before we cut that piece to size, we're going to drill that hole first. And what that's going to do is allow us to hold it out here with our hands at a much safer distance than we would over here. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is just the setup that we have to drill the hole. Once again, when we're looking at mass producing projects, if we're doing one piece at a time, if we're just doing one project, it would be easy to measure and mark the center point and then drill the hole and just move on. But when we're doing hundreds of these at a time, we don't want to have to do that every single time. It's just going to be very time consuming. So this is a very simple, what's called a jig. And what a jig does is positions our project pieces in place so that we can drill the hole at the exact same spot every time. And the way it's created is very simple. On the one piece here, I measured and marked the line for where the hole is going to go. And before attaching down, notice there's a gap in the corner here. And you notice that I did not make the strips go all the way to the end here and all the way to the end here. The reason for that is when we drill these holes, and when we drill hundreds of them at a time, it's going to create a lot of dust. And if you bring this to the corner here, the dust is going to start packing in the center, in the corner there. And then over time, instead of your piece fitting right in the corner where it's supposed to, it's going to start coming away from that fence, and now the hole that we drill is not going to be accurate. So this allows for dust to get out of the way. The last thing I want to show you is our depth stop, so that there's no guesswork in when I've drilled through this piece of wood. On our machine, we can set a depth gauge, which is this part right here. I can any further than that. It's not going to let me go anywhere past that. Another thing I can do just to speed things up, instead of bringing this from the top all the way down every time I have to drill, I can adjust how or where this starts. So I'm going to bring it somewhere right about there and bring that up. So now I'm not making as big of an arm movement every time. Just little things that are going to speed this up in production. So every time it's going to be, piece goes in, turn it on, drill, bring it up, and we're actually going to leave the machine running as we do this so that we can just keep things moving quicker. So I'm just going to demonstrate drilling one. And take my ring off here. Put my glasses on. Okay, so we have another piece right here. Put that into the corner. Turn it on. And that's all there is to it. Okay, now with us having the masks on, blowing away the air is going to be a bit of an issue. So we're going to have an air hose here. And so every now and then when things get built up, we're going to take an air hose and spray it away, spray the dust away. So we're going to get going here. Actually, Mrs. MacGyver Yako is going to get going here, drilling some of these holes. It's going to be, we have a whole stack of them over by the table saw that we're going to bring over here. And you're going to see the rest of this process on the time-lapse video. All right.